You understand what the job is. The job is to make cubing more accessible to people. Lots of you will know Manu from his commentary, of course, on West Coast Cubing and Speed Cubing TV, and you run Cuber's live YouTube channel as well.
Yes, sir. All of that is absolutely accurate.
Do you want to? Let's start in the same way that I started on Plus Three the other day. Plus Three will be out tomorrow. Like and subscribe, everyone, on Speedcubing TV. Do you want to give us a little bit of background? Because some people might not know who you are. Let's pretend that people don't know who you are. Give us the whole story.
Look, I would not be surprised if you don't really know who I am because I'm kind of a nobody. But hello, everyone. My name is Manu. Been cubing for like the better part, actually, no, more than a decade at this point. Because my ID is 2013. That's kind of scary.
Whoa, that's OG.
It's not quite OG. Like, so I saw something interesting recently where, like, apparently every user in the WCA database has like an internal ID number that's different from your WCA ID. And not Kevin, Michael Young, for those of you who might know, he has 2008 ID. He has internal ID number 255. And he was like, does that mean he was one of the first 300 people who was part of the WCA? But if that's the case, then like he's like a real OG, right? Like I'm only 50.
I need to know who number one is now. I need to know.
Number one is, I wonder, because 2003 World Championships was not part of the WCA didn't exist then. So I wonder, it was probably some random Caltech comp, and maybe like the first person registered alphabetically in that Caltech comp in like 2004, perhaps.
Maybe that's a big flex. We need to find someone on the software team and find this out. But anyway, sorry, I interrupted you.
No, this is all good. No, yeah, so yeah, I've been cubing for like over a decade at this point. I'm also a delegate, by the way, in Southern California here. And one of the things I think is most fun about cubing is just how hype like some of these matches can be. Because I remember, so in 2019, right? I am in my internship. It's the summer, and 2019 World Championships is going on. And I literally put a block of time in my calendar every single day so that I wouldn't have like a meeting at that time to do cubing. And during that summer when Worlds was going on, I was just watching Worlds that entire hour. And doing nothing else. I'm like, this is so fun. This is like really exciting to see what's going on. Because, you know, it's like, it was all the way in Australia. I was a poor college student, so I didn't have the opportunity to go. And I thought that was really cool. And since 2020, yeah, Cubers Live is like this organization, sub-brand of West Coast Cubing that does like a lot of like live streaming and like video production type stuff. And the whole goal is really to like make cubing more interesting and kind of like spread it out to a larger audience on YouTube. We used to stream on Twitch also. Now I do streams on YouTube, making YouTube videos and things like that. So that's kind of like my involvement in the space. Been also doing some broadcasting work as like commentary. I also produce the live streams that show up on Cubers Live. I work somewhat closely with Matthew Marinick. So if you saw the North American Championships live stream, I helped out on the crew side of doing that. So like doing all the setup, taping down the wires, setting up the camera angles, doing the white balancing and things like that too. So yeah, that's quick introduction. That's my activities in cubing so far.
So far. Yeah. So heavily involved in the broadcast side. You've commentated a lot. Hey, you've been doing quite a lot of I mean, compared to anyone else, you've been doing quite a lot of commentary, I would say. And you make a real good team with Dylan Miller.
Dude, Dilly and I didn't really talk to Dylan much / at all before NAC, but like as soon as I was like, Dylan, I want to interview you during NAC, I think we just hit it off from there. He's a very, very interesting guy. He has a lot of interesting thoughts about like the state of competitive speed cubing and stuff like that. And I think it's just really fun to talk about. And he's also a streamer, right? So it's like he knows how to talk. And I think that's like one of the most important things as a commentator. Is there's a lot of people who have like way more knowledge than I do. But it's kind of like you need to be able to disseminate that information to the audience in like a certain way. For example, like this is something like I got clowned on at NAC. Every time I showed up on the camera, or at least every day that I was on the camera, I would always explain average of 5, right? Yeah. And like, so the majority of the viewers, it's like, okay, well, I know what average of 5 is. Who cares, right? But for the random like 10 viewers who are just tuning into the stream, they like, oh, Rubik's Cube, I played with that in the 80s. How are they like, you know, scaling each other? Like, how do they rank each other? I'm like, okay, well, you don't know how this happened, so it takes me a minute to explain what average of 5 is. So I might as well just explain it to you so you just understand what's going on, and then you have some context as to, like what's going on and like why we're like ranking them this like weird and funny way.
Yeah. No, it's because you get it, because you understand what the job is. The job is to make cubing more accessible to people, because this is something. So I teach a like an enterprise course, like a business course to young people in New Zealand. I was doing it yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And something we always say, but especially when we're talking about markets, right? It's understanding your markets. And this is something that my business mentor, taught me as well very early in my sort of store ownership career. Is like you can spend as much time as you like going after people who know what cubing is and are really deep into it, but that's like 5% of your available customers. Like the biggest part of the market when you're selling cubes is beginners, and the biggest part of your market when you're streaming cubing is not necessarily cubers. It's people who like to watch an engaging, fun, exciting cube competition.
Exactly. Yeah, you're exactly right.
And you need to be able to understand that and be able to brush off the people going, yeah, duh, I know what an average of 5 is. Because it's like, that's cool. That's great that you do. But not everyone watching does. And understanding that is kind of key to growing cubing in a real way. Thank you so much for watching. Please do leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe if you want to see more. I stream once a week and I release videos pretty much every day. Also use code CUBECAST to save 5% at speedcubeshop.com, Cubing Life Academy, speedcube.nz, lastlayercubing.com. Have fun, solve cubes, and I'll catch you in the next one.